So hello there, my name is Lucas and today here again for the research page with another little video for the month of the Independence Challenge. And in this video we wanted to talk a bit about DaVinci Resolve again. So basically this time I want to show you how we can apply some cool things to our footage to help us grading. So maybe you have heard of LUTs before. A LUT is basically a lookup table, so a thing we look through to achieve something, to see something. And I'm not a fan of it, but you can use it for grading, at least to have some sort of starting point. On the internet there are some great LUTs from Kodak and Fuji stocks. Provided by a guy called Juan Melara on his blog, who's a great guy, and you should definitely follow his blog if you're somewhat interested in grading. Anyways, these LUTs are pretty cool and completely free for you to use. The problem is they're basically made for film stocks or for scanned films, which means you need to have some sort of logarithmic encoded footage, which is basically coming from cameras like the Alexa or the Blackmagic Cinema camera. I know there are some cameras who have some sort of log encoded image, but it's not that much of a log encoded image that it works properly with these lookup tables. However, in the welcome package I provided for you, we have a little LUT that helps you bringing your filmed footage from your diesel or camcorder or whatever into a LUT color space and then be able to use such a LUT from Kodak or Fuji. So let's just hop in and see how we can use this LUT to improve the look of our film. So here in DaVinci I prepared a little timeline with a few clips recorded in Rec. 709 so we can see the effect that this LUT that is provided in your welcome package has on your footage. This is of course only an example, so basically you're not going to see the best grades ever, just so you know before. Let's hit the color page. And by the way, before we start, if you don't know how to install LUTs in DaVinci, it's pretty easy actually, but sometimes a bit tricky. You can just hit the gear wheel down here, and then when you're in the lookup table tab, you can hit open LUT folder. Then this folder will pop up and you can see many things. For example, the LUTs, the cinema LUTs that I use, I copied to the CineSpace folder, so I can find them. It's a bit organized, and my RecLog LUT lies only in the root folder of the LUT folder from DaVinci Resolve. So basically, when we go on the right click on the note and hit 3D LUT, when you go to the folder LUT, then there will be the RecLog, and then CineSpace will be the cinema LUTs, of course. So let's get started. First of all, I will make a new LUT. I will do this with clicking Alt and then S. You can of course also make a right click in the node graph and hit corrector and just drag it in there, so you just created the node again, but let's keep it like that. And I want to change the label here, and we call this LUT. So for now I want to use one of the cinema LUTs that is provided from a guy called Juan Melara in his blog, and this is an awesome blog for grading in general. So if you don't know that, check it definitely out, so you learn a thing or two about some other grading things. And anyways, each of these LUTs has 3 different versions, and it's like the cusp clip, the cusp L clip, and the cusp L map. And what this does is, the thing is, this is meant for different highlight roll-offs. And with these LUTs there's a PDF provided where it's explained what means which of the ending means for the LUT. Basically I like the Kodak more than the Fuji, but this is a personal taste thing. And again, these are LUTs for cinema use, so they were used or are still used for a preview for soon to be printed stuff for cinema, so we will use them now. And as you can see, this doesn't look good at all, because this was meant for log C footage, for Cine footage, that this obviously isn't, so it cannot look very good. You can see we have some very badly blown highlights here, and everything is too contrasty, too saturated, etc. So basically what we're going to do is we want to assign the LUT that I provided in the welcome package, and we do this by right-clicking the first LUT, go to 3D LUT again, and then choose RecLog version 2. And now you can see we have a we have a look already. Again, this is a base for grading. It's not the finished look, but we can use suddenly these LUTs, these cinema LUTs provided by Juan Melara. So when I just disable this, you can see there's a big impact on the image. However, if you want to change something here, basically, if you don't know how to use DaVinci, I want to recommend some other tutorials for you. I will post them in the description, because there are people who are much better than me and with DaVinci who already made awesome tutorials. So maybe follow them better than I do some wacky stuff that can compete with that. However, for now, I want to give you some tips. So basically, when we want to do corrections to this, some pre-corrections, what I want to do is I want to add a note and put this in front of the, I do want to change this label here, call this rec lock. So we have yeah, we can keep it organized. So basically anything like exposure corrections would be done in the first node. So we have some controls that is not, for example, when you have stuff that gets clipped in the last node, it won't be recoverable in the next node. So basically, we want to, for example, highlight protection, stuff like that, we want to do in the first node in the graph. So maybe I can just, you know, do some things here and we can see the result immediately. So this is this clip, and of course I have another clip. So basically I have the rec lock looked again in the first place. By the way, when we activate this, you can see you get some sort of really flat image, which is very close to log C, that you can use, so you are able to use the log C mend or log LUTs in general. So this is what we have now, and then we have the LUT from the CineSpace package. Maybe we can choose another LUT again. So basically this is not a nice image, I know that, but this is a base for grading, for example. So the idea is that the initial grading happens between these two LUTs. So basically the LUT for the cinema conversion should always be in the last step. So what I want to do now is I want to make a new LUT. Again, click Alt and S for a new simple LUT. And then I want to use the qualifier. Again, if you want to learn DaVinci a bit better, watch, I will provide other tutorials so you can learn it a bit better. So maybe we click some of the green and shift it a bit to the greenish side, so it's not that much of an orange or a cold look. Maybe like this, maybe make it a bit brighter or something like that. So we get a bit of a more interesting image maybe. This won't look awesome, I know that. So and then I want to make some sort of luma key. Like when we hit this switch, by the way, we can see what we key with the qualifier. So maybe something like this. Also make some sort of denoise. I love the denoise function from DaVinci 11. It's new in DaVinci 11. There are some other controls for this before. So maybe something like this. And then we also want, of course, we want to qualify the color. So we only get the blue colors. Or no, that's totally stupid because there are no blue colors. That's what I do this. We only want to do the very things with very low saturation, so we don't get accidentally some of the trees up here. You know, if you didn't do this, you can see we get some of the trees. So maybe something like this, and yeah, awesome. So now I want to shift a bit blue in there, so we get some sort of sky, at least an idea of a sky back, because it was a very nice, beautiful day. Maybe saturate this a bit too. Maybe something like this, and then we have some sort of look. So it's not perfect, of course, but this is again only a presentation. So now we have a next clip, and again we have the rec lock applied to it, so we get some sort of lock image. And again, you don't have to use necessarily the CineSpace LUTs. There are many LUTs online, also free ones, that you can use with this technique. For example, there is the M31 LUT from Vision Color, I think, which also works quite well with these. These are not free, by the way, but very cheap. Now we had to use some techniques to read made for the sky, but still it looks quite interesting. And I have some LUTs, for example, from the K-Tone. I think this is from Frank Glencairn. I don't know how to spell it actually. From his blog. Or there are the hook LUTs for the Blackmagic cameras that also work pretty good with the rec lock LUT. You know, you can, for example, when we deactivate this, gives an interesting image. Or there are some others like the one provided with DaVinci, like the Arri Alexa Lock C2 Rec 709 look LUT, which also makes a very interesting image to our footage. Or we have stuff like, I don't know, I have so many strange LUTs around here. I think there is this LUTs called, or from the Blackmagic Cinema camera. It's also possible to use them, so it's also an interesting starting point for grading. But I searched for another one actually, maybe from the T-Color. I think these are from Tom Miryaski from the Blackmagic forums again, so basically it's a Blackmagic thing. I will post links to these, by the way, in the description, so you can use them too. And these can make interesting looking images. Of course, you have to make some preparations for this, for example, before this, to get a proper image. However, now you're able to use these LUTs with your, how should I call it, with these, with this rec lock LUT that I provided in your Falcon package. This, by the way, does not only work in DaVinci, you can use it in any application that lets you allow to use LUTs with plugins or without. I just want to show you in DaVinci because it's free and cool. So thanks for your patience, and hopefully this is something that works for you, that you can work with. Again, it's maybe also not the most interesting thing in the world, but could provide you with a better reception of colors and maybe help you out with this. So thanks again for watching. I was Lucas. Hopefully I'll see your entry in the TRP contest. So heads up and goodbye.